and gentlemen, welcome back to the All-American Savage Show podcast. I am your host, John Burke, with my beautiful bearded husband and co-host, Josh.
How you doing?
Looking beautiful as ever. Thank you all for being here today. Oh, man, I missed y'all. I missed y'all so much. Good grief. I apologize I sound like crap. I think I've come down with the newest variant, the Zulu Kaka, whatever, based out of Zimbabwe. Who knows? We got them in France. We got them in Germany. We got them in America. Apparently now they're coming out of who knows where. But straight up feeling like horse's ass. But I'm here. We're here.
You look good.
I'm probably infecting Josh right now, but he'll get over it. He'll be all right.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Wouldn't be the first time I've infected with something, but, they make pills for that these days. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in live. And don't forget, we're over on twitch.tv/TheJohnBurke. I am really surprised that we have not been banned on Twitch. Streamers Hassan Piker and Valsh have been banned from Twitch. I'm honestly surprised I have not been banned from Twitch as a result of our podcast.
Take that, universe.
Yeah, you stupid socialist bastards.
That's what you get.
Oh, my gosh. Now, back from vacation. We want to start off by saying this episode is brought to you by ShellShockCBD.com. I am sicker than dog shit right now, so I'm simping on. Well, I am simping for some Shell Shock CBD tea. The stuff is amazing. I'm doing the orange citrus right now. Has CBD in it. It's great for you. I think it's like $20 for a bag of 10. This is 25 milligrams of CBD per bag. So make sure you check that out. ShellShockCBD.com. If you want to get your woman something special, you can check that out. We have the bath salts, eucalyptus scented. I was going to say flavored. Please don't do that. But no, I came back from vacation. What did you do for Christmas?
I just stayed here.
You just stayed here? Normally you're traveling. Like you travel a lot.
I just stayed here.
Well, I'll just shut the hell up.
Yeah,
then.
shut up.
I'll just shut the hell up.
I did nothing, okay? I didn't go to Alaska or Hawaii.
I went to Alaska with the new girlfriend and
shove it in my face, why don't you?
Alaska was beautiful. It was cold. Who knew? Alaska was cold in the wintertime. No, we were going to spend like all 2 weeks in Alaska. We started out in Anchorage. We did a lot of stuff around Anchorage. Come to find out that Anchorage is kind of like a redneck town with snow. Pretty much. Alaska's beautiful. Anchorage was good. I wasn't really too impressed, but you got to, just like anything else, you got to get outside of the city to go see the cool stuff. So we didn't really stay in Anchorage much. Went and saw the zoo and things like that. But I'm not going to lie, dude, after about 4 or 5 days of being in Alaska, it got depressing because it's very gloomy.
Yeah.
The sun is only up for like 4 hours and it's barely even up. It doesn't even like crest the zenith. It just kind of like
peaks over.
It just peaks over a little bit and then goes right back down. It's like, cock tease, and I'm down.
Oh, people are still here. I can't believe that.
People are still here. I'm going back down. So it's just kind of like, this is depressing. So we did some hiking. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I think I can see Russia from my backyard back here, eh? No, Sarah. No, you can't. Idiot. I talked to Mary. I was like, hey, why don't we just go somewhere else? So she's like, let's go to Hawaii. So we went to Hawaii. And then we get to Hawaii, and then it rains the majority of the time we're there, which is still, even Hawaii in the rain is still beautiful. Yeah. And then we did like a helicopter tour in Hawaii, we toured the majority of Honolulu, and got to have lunch with Tulsi Gabbard. We'll see about having her on the show. That was a lot of fun, meeting up with her and her husband, Abraham.
What's she like in person?
She's very... she's a sweetheart. Don't get me wrong. Like she's just very reserved. You can tell that she's an empath, and she watches people. She was very polite, very nice, very kind. Talked a lot about. I posted a picture.
Yeah.
And I knew I was going to get some feedback or some negative feedback on it. People were like, "Oh my God, you're having lunch with Tulsi Gabbard." I have a lot of respect for her. And we talked all things, honestly. We talked military, we talked politics.
She seemed like the one Democrat that, if was elected, that you'd be like, okay.
Honestly.
She seems like she's got some sort of a moral compass.
Bro, here's the weird part about it. I think as a Democrat, I would actually support her on a lot of her issues, except she's not very pro-2A. I can't agree on that one.
And the universal health care, all these government social programs, I can't get on board with that. But
neither can I.
I don't know.
But that's just one of those things. Like,
she's the one person that goes against the grain.
If she would change her focus on those issues, I would support her hands down. Mm-hmm. But as a human being, she's a genuine good person. I liked her. We had a really good conversation. She was super polite to my friends that came with us to lunch, and we had Thai food. I've never had Thai food before, and never gonna have it again. I didn't like it. I thought it tasted horrible. No, I'm playing. I had steak and some other stuff, but No, it was a lot of fun, man. She's a good person, just a very very intelligent woman, and her husband Abraham is a cinematographer, a very talented individual. These are they were like nice people, but I understand why she stands the way she stands on a lot of topics, because Hawaii is a very relaxed place. Like, you go there and you have this feeling of just kind of, I don't fucking care. Like, it's so relaxed. People are they're different over there. Not as in like the mainland. And, you know, in the mainland,
big homeless population too, right?
Yeah, they were everywhere. They were in Walmart. They were all over the place over there. I did like the fact, though, that they had a lot of mom and pop joints there. A lot. There isn't a lot of corporate America too much, but there are a lot of mom and pop shops there. I do like that about Hawaii. I didn't get to tour as much of it as I wanted to, but, you know, definitely going to be going back. But it was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun. And then coming back over, I think I caught something, and now I'm sick as fuck. So I'm going to increase my vitamin C and vitamin intake. I'm going to continue exercising. I think I packed on like at least 5 or 6 pounds on this vacation. Like, I kind of feel like a fat shit.
Good for you.
No, not good for me. Not good for me at all. I feel like a fat fuck.
Yeah, I think I will have another piece of cake.
That's what it was. That's exactly what it is. My tea is brewing over here. I love this. But anyway, I want to say, hey, thank you all for tuning in today, for sharing the podcast, for being here. And so before we do this, let's get into this day in history. This day in history. I'm a little off my game today this morning. Oh, God. Here we go. There we go. I gotta get my camera figured out for this thing. I didn't do it for the news thing because I'm stupid. Whatever. We're just gonna roll with it. There we go. I'm totally not gonna be able to beat the theme song out on this one. Also, make sure you check us out. We're live on YouTube. We're on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes. Make sure you check out the podcast there before they get pulled down. Who knows? Hold on, guys. There we go. Fuck it. We're just gonna go with it. All right, this day in history, Samuel Morse unveils the telegraph, revolutionizing communication. On January 6th, 1838, Samuel Morse's telegraph system is demonstrated for the first time at the Speedwell Iron Works in Morrison, New Jersey. The telegraph, a device which used electric impulses to transmit encoded messages over a wire, would eventually revolutionize long-distance communication, reaching the height of its popularity in the 1920s and the 1930s. Samuel Finley Breeze Morse was born April 27th in 1791 in Charlestown, Massachusetts. He attended Yale University, where he was interested in art and as well as electricity, still in its infancy at the time. After college, Morse became a painter. In 1832, while sailing home from Europe, he heard about the newly discovered electromagnet and came up with an idea for an electric telegraph. He had no idea that other inventors were already at work on the concept. Oh, I am so sorry. Like, I just feel complete like ass. I am like not on my A game today, but we're gonna power through. Mm-hmm. We're gonna power through just for you today, for you the listener. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. So today, for those that don't know, hug your loved ones close, bring them into your breast and squeeze them close. Today is a day that will live in infamy. Today is January 6th, the 1-year anniversary of the insurrection at the Capitol. Today, a group of people stormed the Capitol, angry at the outcome of the election results. There was no security there at the Capitol steps, but instead minimal skeleton crew of Capitol police officers. Those that violently protested and attempted to overthrow the government using no weapons but a QAnon shaman with horns did their best to overthrow democracy. Today, if you have PTSD, hold your loved ones close. You just don't know what's going to happen. Yes, today is January 6th, and it's fucking hilarious. I don't care if you don't like that. I don't care. When I said Return to the Savage, I mean that. I don't care.
Did you see Ted Cruz even.
We're about to cover that. Jesus Christ. It's gotten so stupid and out of hand. So January 6th is funny. We already got in the chat. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious because you morons out there just buy into this bullshit. And we're going to talk about how it's been propagandized by the left and the right.
Yeah, it's not as hilarious as much as it is bullshit.
Exactly. That's why it's so hilarious. I mean, it's just all bullshit. It's all bullshit. This is where we're at today. Yeah, there's just so much to cover on this, and then there's a lot of topics I want to catch up on that, occurred while we were on vacation, like 2 or 3 topics, but good Lord. Look, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I don't care. The January 6th narrative that is being pushed by the left right now, that is their election tactic for the midterms. It's to try and use January 6th to pin that on all Trump supporters to say, hey, don't vote for anything conservative because essentially they supported this insurrection. Number one, we streamed this. I remember I streamed this live January 6th. We watched Trump's speech. We watched his son's speech. We watched Madison Cawthorn's speech. I still remember it. There were no calls for violent insurrection. There were calls for peaceful protest. And that's well within people's rights to do.
Yeah.
You can protest. Now, they moved down to the Capitol where there was very minimal police presence. Why? Why do you think that was, ladies and gentlemen? People knew there was going to be a 1 million-man rally in D.C. that Trump was holding. You really think that they didn't have any kind of idea there could be some kind of possible riot after the whole BLM thing that kicked off? Like, you really didn't see this? This was a setup. And also, to caveat, we still don't know who placed those bombs in that truck. Still don't know.
Yeah.
We have January 6th protesters still in prison being denied medical services, but nobody knows who planted those bombs. Weird. Weird. This was an optical setup from the get-go.
Yep.
And these morons that and I'm not saying that January 6th was war. I'm not. But let's not even freaking kid ourselves. This was a setup from the get-go. It was a setup from the get-go, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care what anybody says. 100% was. Oh, my God. And we already have it in the news. Kamala Harris, January 6th riot like bombing on Pearl Harbor, 9/11 terror attacks. Okay. Over 3,000 people died on 9/11. Thousands died on Pearl Harbor. Like, to even conflate the two issues is a slap in the face of everybody that perished on these actual terrorist attacks. The riot that happened at the Capitol was a bunch of stupid people. Let's not deny that. It was a bunch of morons. Like, what were you thinking? You think you're going to go in there and overturn the electoral process? It's not going to happen. It was morons doing this. But what Democrats are doing right now, and I think conservatives like Ted Cruz are trying to do, is to come together on this issue and condemn it so they can't be accused of supporting it. So in order to prevent yourself from being accused of supporting it, you have to actively condemn it. And Cruz went too far. He's going over the line. We'll get to it. But anyway, Vice President Kamala Harris kicked off the Biden administration's remarks on the first anniversary of the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot by comparing it to the bombing of Pearl Harbor in 1941 and the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001. This is what Democrats are going to do for the midterms, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to try and make these false equivalencies to try and rile people up with these buzzwords and dog whistles just to get you to make this comparison to realize how tragic it was. And yet the Biden administration stands strong through it. We, at the Biden administration, have persevered when they stood against us to try and overthrow. Oh, and real quick, Ashley Babbitt. I already see the veteran pages out there promoting this moron. Ashley Babbitt, for those that don't know, was the female Air Force veteran that got shot through the neck and killed on January 6th for trying to break through the barricade where congressional members were holed up after she'd been warned by the police to stop. And people don't want to acknowledge this. They want to hail her up and say, oh my God, they killed a veteran that knew what she was doing. The same people, I'm telling you, the savage is back. I'm going to give it to you both barrels, ladies and gentlemen. The same people that say if you would just listen to the cops, you wouldn't get shot, are suddenly doing a 180 and then suddenly hoisting Ashley Babbitt up, who was an idiot, that tried to break through a barricade where the congressional representatives were holed up and being defended by the Capitol Police after they warned her to stop. You see the video, and the cops on the outside that did nothing to stop her are equally as guilty. People don't know who to get pissed off at now. They're like, well, John doesn't know what he's doing. I do. You just don't know who to be mad at. The cops on the outside that you see once she was shot through the neck are lowering her to the ground and trying to perform first aid on her. Why weren't they stopping her? They easily could have reached up and grabbed her dumbass and yanked her down. But they didn't. And you see her breaking through the barricades to go through, and the cop pops her. In the video, you see the cop warning her, and you see the gun, and guess who was also filming? For the Democrats that want to say this was nothing but a white nationalist attack, John Sullivan, BLM activist, was also there. The same moron that made threats against the president's life by talking about ripping him out of office. I'm pissing off both sides on this one. It's true. You can look this up. Go look up John Sullivan, BLM activist. He was there on the grounds. QAnon shaman was there. All these morons, they were there. You can be mad at both sides. It's okay to do that. But stop hoisting this woman up as if she's some kind of martyr. She's not.
I think people should have known better.
They did.
Like, not to, like...
And her as a veteran, she did know better.
Like, even if the cops are like, yeah, come on in. Yeah. It's like, you should know better than...
You got to remember, we're not dealing with America's brightest sometimes here. You know, a lot of people would think should have common sense, usually don't. And that's just the way it goes right there. You honestly... And this is like one of those cases that stupid people can lead you to your death if you do not use your head and think, ladies and gentlemen. So, again... People that are actually out there using this as if it's like some type of like, you know, score on the left. It's like, well, you shot and killed a veteran. Look, I don't know what you wanted to see happen.
Yeah.
Had she listened to the cop and not gone over the barricade, she'd still be alive. She was breaking the law. Well, it doesn't work getting shot. Nobody knew. Nobody knew if she was armed or not.
How they just stayed outside.
100%.
And protested.
I don't know. I think it's all a big setup, honestly.
But where's the same outrage for all the BLM riots, the Antifa riots, the cities that have continuously been burned down?
This is what Democrats do, though. It's a smart tactic to take. Instead of like focusing on, there was more damage done at the hands of white liberal BLM members than at the Capitol riots.
Cities all across America.
Oh yeah.
Here in Dallas, downtown Dallas.
Yep.
Deep Ellum, they were burning down businesses,
billions,
marching through the street.
Billions in damages.
So we're going to hold a memorial for those people?
No.
I mean, the people that were killed,
can't do
like
that.
right here in the city of Dallas? No?
Nope.
Okay.
But January 6th is 10 times
just because
worse
some cowards went back in their chambers? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And of course, AOC, you know. Has anybody checked on AOC today? We got to make sure she's okay.
Who's trying to date her?
You know. I saw that.
Stupid idiot.
Republicans are obsessed with me because they want to date me. AOC.
You want to date me?
I don't think so. I think you're off the mark on that one. I think people think you're batshit crazy, and enough people out there know not to stick their dick in crazy. Absolutely not. Who, by the way, was spotted in Florida maskless as her district sees a surge in COVID. You got to love this. Now, here's the thing. I'm not against people traveling. I'm really not. But it just it seems to be a little hypocritical.
Oh, it's very hypocritical.
You sit there and you condemn Republicans for not wanting to get vaccinated and things such as that. And then you're in Florida maskless.
Shit-talking
Republicans.
The governor of Florida.
And the governor, yeah. And then DeSantis, like I'm really starting to like DeSantis more and more. He tweets out the picture of her saying, "Hey AOC, welcome to a free state, yada yada yada." And he does this casual, just little shot across the bow. I loved it.
So going back to Hawaii. So what was it like in Hawaii when you were over there? As far as ridiculous. Like going in and out of places. So here in Texas, it's just like
you got to show proof of negative COVID test or have a vaccination card to get into a restaurant. It was ridiculous. Now you can get into Hawaii. You have to go through all the process. Just again, negative test or COVID vaccine, whatever the case may be. You showcase it at the airport. You fill out the information. It was ridiculous. It was stupid to me.
So where do you get your COVID test once you get there? Just they have them readily available?
Yeah. And you can, and some people said they got quarantined. You can fill out the thing to where you can I forget how it was, but basically you can fill out all this paperwork. It's stupid. It's ridiculous.
Sounds relaxing.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that part was just dumb. But once you get there, it's just like, you gas station, they don't care. You got to wear a mask everywhere you go. That made me really grateful that Texas is doing what Texas is doing. Like, I'm really happy to be back home in Texas because it's stupid. It's so stupid.
We have some friends out in California. It makes no
sense that you sit there and you have to wear a mask, show proof of vaccine or negative COVID test, and then you walk to your table and you take your mask off as if, and there's a table literally 2 feet from me.
Are we all idiots?
Yeah, this is where it's at now. Like, it feels like I'm back in the army again. It's like, don't walk on the grass that you do exercise on every morning because you could kill the grass. Like, I sound like Alex Jones. It makes no sense here, people. It's kind of retarded. You know, that's exactly what it is. Like, this doesn't make any sense, which, again, is indicative of when the government tries to do anything, They're the worst people.
It's terrible. And they keep taking all of our money.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's the maddening part.
We're at, yeah.
So we have friends in California who have kids in school, and they were going to go to a play this weekend. They had bought the tickets months ago, and now they're requiring everybody, even the kids, to get vaccinated. And if you don't want to have the vaccination, then you have to get like the PCR testing, which takes like 72 hours. Yep. Then the play's on Sunday.
Didn't the CDC just come out and say those PCR tests now can actually be false? The
Probably.
CDC
it's all over the place.
Down. Yeah, there's been a lot that we've missed in the 2 weeks I've been gone. But the CDC, for those that don't know, also said that quarantining now has now been reduced down to like 5 days from 10. They've changed their positions on a lot of different things. Now, and we're going to get to a lot of this later on in the show, but because I want to talk about Joe Rogan, his interview, how he is destroying CNN and mainstream media.
Like,
it's nuts.
His viewership is just...
It's through the roof.
Did you see CNN's viewership drop like 76%?
People are... And this is... Dude, there's so much to unpack on this one.
Like, maybe the airports will turn it off now.
The airports
turn something off.
You see, this is the thing that bothers me. Now, Fauci, for those who don't know, Fauci is also pushing for vaccination proof for domestic flights. And this is what pisses me off. Like, right now, they're saying that a little over 50% of America is vaccinated. I think they're inflating these numbers, as they always do.
Oh, yeah.
But let's say, for example, that they do, and this is where my mind goes on this. Say, like, for example, they do mandate vaccination requirements for domestic flights. I'm not going to do it. I'll stop flying.
Yep.
Not going to happen. So if I'm not going to do it, and I fly a lot, and then there's a lot of people that do the same thing, say, I'm not getting the vaccine, what's going to happen to the industry? I think the airline industry, I think, is the number 2 or number 3 employer of most Americans.
Yeah.
It's going to tank the airline industry.
Well, you have
and then the government is not going to allow that to happen. So the government's going to do more bailouts with your taxpayer dollars. Jeez. And they're going to try and force this vaccination on people. It's like this every time the government puts their fingers in anything, they fuck it up.
Oh, it's poison.
They fuck it up. And Democrats still buy into this. They still buy into the fact they think the government can fix it.
At least Trump's not in office.
Oh, my God. You remember Biden said there's been so many deaths from COVID, but Trump doesn't have a plan. But I do. And which leads us into, the thing here. Biden, this is a few days old. I didn't get to this because I was gone. Biden now says no federal solution to COVID crisis would have given out tests quicker if Omicron surge expected, which again proves that Biden never had a plan. He lied to people to get into office. And then once he was in office, he had no control over this. Now he has literally just admitted defeat. He's basically said we can't control it, which we've been saying from the get-go. You can't control a virus. But now the Biden administration is also withholding the antibodies. He's being sued for it. Did you see that?
The monoclonal?
Yes. They're trying to withhold this from the populace. So, ladies, to you socialists out there that want to go after healthcare, which you're justified in doing, so the healthcare system is fucked, why are you being quiet about what Biden is doing towards another method that has been proven to work, even more effective than the vaccination? Uh-oh. Look out now. Look out now. This has been the longest I told you so in the history of America. The longest one. Now, look, I'm not going to sit there and say I got it right from the get-go, but there comes a point where you have to stop. Pull your hand, pull your head out of the sand in your ass and ask yourselves, like, wait a minute. Maybe there's something to what all these conspiracy theorists have said. And the thing that sucks about the conspiracy theorism is that people link the QAnon to other conspiracies and make them one and the same, and they're not. These conspiracy theories actually weren't really conspiracy theories. They were just like accurate speculation saying, wait a minute, do we really want to trust the government on this one? Like, do we really want to trust the fact that the FDA still hasn't really approved these vaccines? It's weird.
Now, I feel like I was right the entire time that masks don't work.
Yeah.
Everybody's eventually going to get it, and then you're just going to have to move on.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Still unvaxxed.
Yeah.
I'm still unvaxxed.
Not get a vaccination.
No.
They should have been doing therapeutic tents from the very
Tyler,
beginning.
our vaccinated employee, he caught COVID again. Or he caught it first. Yeah. He's good, though. Thank God.
Yeah,
we've had a few of our employees catch it, and they came back. They're good.
One of them got the monoclonal antibodies, and he came back. He's like, the next day I felt fine.
Yep.
So you hear these stories all over the place.
We have like some case studies right here in the office. It's like, yeah, it works.
I'm sure everybody does. I'm sure people know people who have had COVID and gotten over it. And It's
just
bullshit.
crazy to me. It's just crazy.
It's a power grab.
Back to the January 6th thing. Kamala Harris, certain dates echo throughout history, including dates that instantly remind all who have lived through them where they were and what they were doing when our democracy came under assault. Dates that occupy not only a place in our calendars, but a place in our collective memory. December 7th, 1941, September 11th, 2001, and January 6th, 2021. The fact that you can even reference January 6th in comparison to Pearl Harbor or September 11th, when over 3,000 people died on 9/11. I think it was 2,000 something on Pearl Harbor. I actually got to go to Pearl Harbor.
It's pretty cool, huh?
And to see the wreckage, to see I actually got to go see the airstrip that the Japanese pilots shot up. Mm-hmm. It's like, you can't even compare this. In result of casualty number, stop. I think like 2 or 3 people died on January 6th. One was shot by a Capitol police officer. One had a heart attack. I forget who the third one was. It's like, you're really, like, it's so disgusting what these politicians will do in order to try and push their political bias narrative.
Yeah.
And this is what they're trying to do, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to hype you up. They're trying to get you mad. They're trying to use this as a voter method. That's all they're trying to do. It's kind of like I think this is the Democratic version of Remember the Alamo. I really do. Come 2022 midterms, they're going to be rallying with this. They're going to be using January 6th.
That's all they got.
Make fun of them for it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying make fun of them. I have PTSD from January. Shut the hell up. No, you don't. No, you don't. I remember. They weren't even armed.
What about Steve Scalise, who got shot?
Yeah.
At a softball game or a baseball game. How about that guy? Does he have PTSD? He actually got shot by some crazy Bernie Sanders supporter.
Yep.
Nobody talk about that?
No, can't talk about that.
No, okay.
That was an actual politician
that was an
was
active
shot.
shooter on government officials at a baseball game.
Yep. Go figure.
You think, is that a little bit more serious than...
In terms of, like...
He had a gun, shooting?
Yeah. It was just more people involved in January 6th. That's why it's got to get more press versus that one shooter.
I don't know, man. It's... Yeah, I mean, stuff like that just...
That's
how you know they're full of shit.
More than 2,400 Americans died in Pearl Harbor attack, and nearly 3,000 Americans died on 9/11 attacks. And these are the photos. You know, you see the ships just in smoke from the kamikazes. You see 9/11 remnants there. Harris, who participated in a Black Lives Matter protest outside the White House in May 2020, just hours after rioters attacked the police around the building, injuring dozens, assaulting journalists, and forcing the evacuation of the president into a bunker, declared of the Capitol riot. I remember this. Do y'all remember this? I remember this. That's when you all called Trump a coward because he went into his bunker. But I remember those, but that didn't catch a lot of press.
Oh, no.
Instead, you just made fun of the president for it.
He went out with the Bible for a press op.
What they sought to degrade and destroy was not only a building hallowed as it is, what they were assaulting were the institutions, the values, the ideals, and the generations of Americans have marched, picketed, and shed blood to establish and defend. It's just so ironic that her, of all people, wants to talk about marching. Like, lady, you put more black people in prison than marijuana. Like, stop. You're such a hypocrite.
For marijuana?
For marijuana, yeah, excuse me. She's such a liar.
Yeah, she's a total skin.
Now, Tucker Carlson comes out there, and he actually makes a good point. He says, January 6th was not a violent terrorist attack. Pretending it was a failed coup is Dems' midterm election strategy, and I agree with him on this.
Yeah.
You can see this coming out more and more and more. This is what they're gonna cling to. They have to.
100%.
They have nothing else.
It's like the PP tape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's
the Russian collusion.
You don't hear about that anymore.
There are still Democrats to this day that believe the Steele dossier was legitimate.
Yeah,
that the Russian collusion wasn't a hoax and wasn't proven wrong.
That's how good they are at gaslighting.
Yeah,
they did it over and over again. They used all their propaganda networks, said it over and over again. Trump, Russia collusion, and it was totally fake. And it turns out it was the Clinton administration.
And by the time they figured out it was bogus, it was too late.
Move on.
Yeah, move on. What does it matter?
Look, move on.
Look, the Democrats that are pissed off about January 6th, hey, some people did something.
Hey,
we took it from the
it was
Muslim,
mostly peaceful.
Muslim fucking congresswoman. We're doing it in Italian style. Some people did. Hey, Bafangula. Some people did something. I watched Jersey Boys on the flight back from Hawaii. Hey, Frankie. Sherry, don't storm the Capitol, Sherry. But I think Tucker Carlson's right on this one. You know, a failed coup, it's going to be the Democratic strategy to reelect people in midterms. They're going to use this. It's going to be their Remember the Alamo, Remember Goliad battle cry to try and solicit more votes. It's just gone off the deep end. I I have seen in the history of the United States such disgusting comparisons as this one. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, Democrats. You can't sit there and really make this comparison.
Just when you think they can't get any lower.
Yeah, you can't sit there and make... You cannot equate the two. Conflating the two is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. It's so disgusting. So disgusting to me. But that's what they're going to do, so... But that's all over the news. And then, of course, Ted Cruz comes out, and people call him Cancun Cruz. It's kind of funny, you know, when
that is pretty funny.
It was a stupid thing for him to do. I think it was this time last year when Texas got hit with the random blizzard, you know, and it shut down a lot of shit in Texas. Cruz went to Cancun with his daughters and his wife, I think.
Yeah.
And he got busted for it. And it's just kind of, even I'm kind of like, dude, what are you doing? You know, there's a lot of Texans like, you know, oh, what? He can't go travel. It's like, yeah, dude, when your fucking state that you represent is in, you know,
lockdown,
a bad wintry lockdown, and you're going to Cancun. It's like, that's kind of fucked up.
You got punched right in the face with an ice storm.
Oh my God, yeah. It's like that's
power's off, water's off.
He can't do anything realistically, but if you are elected to represent your constituency base and they're going through a hard time,
with us.
You suffer with them. That's part of leadership. You know, and people don't realize that. So, but Cruz called January 6th a violent terrorist attack, leaves Trump supporters outraged. Senator Ted Cruz, and this is coming to us from Newsweek, Senator Ted Cruz is being condemned by conservatives for describing the Capitol riot as a violent terrorist attack on the eve of its 1-year anniversary. Okay, was this violent? I think we have to acknowledge, yes, it was. It was kind of violent, yeah. I mean, because you're breaking windows, you're literally breaking into offices. It's violence. Now, what level of violence? Was anybody actually hurt? Not really. Not a lot. I mean, again, the one Capitol police officer, I think he had a heart attack. He fell from some stairs.
I don't know if I'd call it violent.
I think it's violent.
Maybe destructive.
That's violence.
Is it?
To destroy something, you have to use violence.
Really? I would say violence against a person.
I mean, come on, we're arguing semantics at this point.
I would say violence against a person,
well,
but if you would go out and destroy something.
Because they were breaking windows, they were breaking into offices, that requires violent means.
I guess.
I mean, you could call this violence. I mean, realistically, here's the thing. You could almost call this a terrorist attack because by definition, terrorism is using violent methods to push a political or religious agenda. But the problem is, like, this was kind of like, it was so minute that they're blowing this thing way out of proportion. Yeah, it's like they broke in, then they went and sacked some congressional offices, but there was no violence towards any congressional members. Now, here's the other part, though. Would there have been had they reached them? Yes, I think they would have. I think they would have been violent towards them.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
I
think they would have confronted them, maybe tried to scare on them, maybe push back and harass on them like freaking...
I think they were just going to go to the, chamber room or whatever, and it's like where the horn guy was.
I don't know, because when you have people in mass numbers, you have hysteria take over and common sense goes out the window.
It was a bad idea.
It was
all
a stupid
around.
idea, yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Thing, yeah. I mean, they should have never have went to the Capitol building. Like, that was the dumbest thing that they could have possibly done. But
I mean, I'm speculating here. I mean, I don't know if they would or wouldn't have been, but the fact that Ted Cruz goes out there and calls this a violent terrorist attack, it's like, bro, I think because we've heard that likened so much to, you know, 9/11, things like that. It's like, come on, man. I was like, I just feel like you're kind of off the mark on this one. I definitely wouldn't have used that kind of terminology to describe today. I would call it a riot of stupid people. It was a riot. That's all it was. It was a riot.
Yeah.
But again, if people are going to be so upset about the January 6th riots at this level, you should be equally, if not more, upset about the BLM riots all over the country.
They shut down a city in Seattle, 6 blocks.
They burned
an entire summer.
100%.
And took it and renamed it. Mm-hmm. And then the mayor, was like, oh, yeah, it's just the summer of love.
Yeah.
It's like a big summer festival with music and rapes and murders.
And the other thing, though, is if we call this a terrorist attack on January 6th, the cops were literally ushering people in.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, it was an optic. I think this is one big setup. It was one big optic. But Cruz saying this was kind of like, bro, come on. Like, you're a little off the mark. But Senator Ted Cruz is being condemned by conservatives for describing the Capitol riot as a violent terrorist attack on the eve of the 1-year anniversary. The Texas Republican made the remarks on Wednesday at a Senate Rules Committee hearing about the apparent security failures that allowed a mob of Donald Trump supporters to start. That's actually incorrect. It wasn't just Donald Trump supporters. You had John Sullivan in there, much less other people as well. And you had paid actors in there. This was proven.
Yeah.
This was proven. But this is what they do. This is what the MSM does. They gaslight. There were people on both sides in that protest. And a lot of these gaslighters were in there trying to fuel the Trump supporters to keep going.
Oh, yeah.
Why was John Sullivan in there?
Did you see? There was one video circulating around that it was some guy trying to get everybody to go into the building, and then there was a group of people chanting "Fed, FBI," like basically call him out, call him a FBI agent. I mean, there's videos out like that circulating. Yeah, so.
They were because remember the other protest they were going to do for the January 6th prisoners.
Yeah,
they were going to have like hundreds of people there. Not many showed up, but you could tell there was a lot of feds in plain clothes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was another one of those cases you're referencing there, which was just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but
like, why are they? What's going on there? I mean, you had the Fed up in Michigan.
Because they're trying. Yeah, they're trying to freaking. The feds are involved. The FBI is implicit. All these 3-letter agencies. You have to look at these things like, bro, when they're under the opposing political spectrum side. They're being weaponized politically against the other side.
A mafia.
Thank you. It is a political mafia, 100%.
Yep.
But so Senator Ted Cruz says we are approaching a. Hold on, I got to do this. Here we go. We are approaching a I can't do a Cruz impersonation. I'm trying to like off the wing, off the cuff do it, and I can't. But Ted Cruz says we are approaching a solemn anniversary this week. Cruz says, and it is an anniversary of a violent terrorist attack on the Capitol, where we saw the men and women of law enforcement demonstrate incredible courage. What? I saw you guys turn tail and run. It's about incredible courage. I saw you leading. I saw the one dude with the asp, the black cop, was like backing up the staircase, leading the protesters on. There's video footage of this.
Opening the gates.
Like, what are you talking about?
Away.
Look. Cops that are out there doing the right thing, I love and support you. These Capitol Police officers, you're a bunch of goddamn cowards. And here's why I'll say this. I've been in your position. I've been in your situation, being outnumbered, but I was also armed. You fucking cowards tucked-tailed and you ran. Bunch of little bitches. You stand for what you believe in and you fight for what you believe in. Don't you dare sit there and tell me that they acted courageously. You were outnumbered. I've been outnumbered as well. In worse situations where people were actually shooting at me. Don't you dare sit there and hail these people as heroes. These people were paid to do this. And then these same cops go on this January 6th hearing and cry, my PTSD. Shut the fuck up.
Was Ted Cruz there?
Yes, because I remember AOC accused him of trying to have her murdered because he said we should fight back, and he meant on the House floor. And she was being metaphorical.
I bet if he would have went out and talked to all those people and told them to stop, they could have probably stopped it.
Probably. I mean, Trump tweeted for them to stop, and then Twitter banned Trump.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want Trump to keep going. They wanted this to happen.
Yeah, they wanted it to happen.
They wanted it to happen.
Ted Cruz could have went out there, some Republicans could have gone out there, and they could have been like, hey, guys, this is enough. Stop. Yeah. It's not going to work. It's not a good idea. Someone's going to get hurt.
Dude, they're not going to arrest themselves like that. You saw the congressional members in the House chambers fucking hiding. These people are cowards, man. Come on. Let's be realistic with this. But, I mean, they're also elected politicians. These aren't soldiers or warriors.
If there was somebody that did that, they would have been a badass.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. Imagine if a congressional representative would have stood up and like, I'm going to go out and talk to them.
Would have been a legend.
Like, this has to stop.
Yep. To get her just walk down the hallway and said, hey, knock it off. Let's stop. This is a bad idea. Look, I'm with you. It was rigged.
Yeah.
Biden's a total shithead.
I get ridiculous, it. But I just feel like
he's a total liar.
For Cruz to sit there and praise the Capitol Police for this, like, come on.
Look, I get it.
Come on. You know who had more guts than this? That Marine Corps veteran that went out there and disarmed that one protester that broke into a cop car and he like straight up take that dude AR-15 with his like a 9mm. He grabs it from. That dude had more guts than those Capitol Police did.
Oh yeah.
And again, I'm not generalizing all cops, so don't take it that way.
Just those.
Of course, people will like, oh my God, John hates all cops. There's a good chunk of you motherfuckers I don't like because you're enforcing these stupid vaccine mandates. You're a bunch of cowards. I remember you talked about like the cops up there in New York and Burger King that are like fucking flexing on this 5-year-old with his parents and just disgusting.
You want some of this?
You want to get some of this?
I'll eat that Happy Meal. Punk.
Look at here, brother. You fucking coward cops, man. This 2-week break has had me like take a step back and really evaluate where I stand now politically. And there are so many things that I did not think I would change my position on. And I've had to, because right is right, truth is truth, the Constitution is the Constitution, and freedom is freedom. And I never thought I would see a day where I have to openly condemn cops or I have to openly condemn the military. Like, never in my life. But I think it's part of this great awakening in a lot of us out there that we're starting to understand that maybe this government that we served was not worth serving.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be my my nephew joined the Marines this past year and went through boot camp. A few weeks into it, he got COVID, had a quarantine, so he had to do the whole thing over again. And got through it.
We're all sick here. But me and Josh are sick.
But anyway, he didn't want to take the vaccine. Told me religious exemption and everything. And then his superiors took him aside, took him into a room, and told him he wasn't a Christian, berating him.
Yeah.
And then they kicked him out.
Yeah.
Just went in there. I'm like, I was like, that did you a favor.
I saw a quote yesterday that actually was really good. It said, "So many of you are getting used to sitting at tables that Jesus would have flipped." And it's true.
Seriously.
It's true.
Like taking this kid and trying to
that just goes to show you the military-industrial complex
grandfather
can be
served
manipulated.
in World War II. His father served in Vietnam. His dad's in the Marines. It's a family tradition. And
that's the way it goes.
Yep.
Well, hey, you know what? At least we don't have any more of that white rage. We ain't got any more of Austin or Miley up there with that white right now.
I'm telling you.
Oh, you got to love this, though. Lloyd Austin, SecDef, pops hot for COVID. After a fully vaccination, all the boosters, he pops for COVID. And you're just sitting there laughing. Whoopi Goldberg, Black Karen of The View, pops for COVID. And she has the audacity, I did everything they told me to do. It's almost like a clown. I did everything they told me to do, and I still popped. It's like, maybe because you're stupid. I mean, look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not trying to sit here and say I told you so, but you trusted the government. I told you so. I mean, you get what you deserve, you morons.
I'm waiting for some phone calls to come rolling in on my way and be like, you know what, you were right.
Yeah. They'll never do it.
Don't ever. Don't work.
And then CNN, I posted this article, I think yesterday. I had to do some self-fellatio. I knew when I posted this on Facebook, people are gonna be in the comments, but you feel better. I post shit just to fucking rile people up sometimes. Yeah. But the CNN article just comes out. It's on my Instagram, the American Savage Show. You can check it out over there. I think it's about 4 posts back. CNN tweets out, people who are overweight or obese are at a much higher risk of much more severe disease and even death from COVID-19. One new study suggests that losing weight can reduce that risk. Oh, I think we're into year 3 of flattening the curve, and you're just now realizing this has been out for a while now. But ladies and gentlemen, watch. MSM, specifically CNN, is going to start steering their boat more centrist come midterms. They're going to do this to try and gaslight you into thinking they were on your side the entire time when in fact they were not. Watch for these media outlets to do this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you. Not even a little bit. CNN is pushing this. But they already talked about 81% of COVID deaths were obese. Not overweight, obese. It's almost like a fat shamer said this years ago. I was the COVID prophet. No, I didn't know about COVID, but still. It's kind of like, hey, don't be fat and overweight. It's not healthy. What? Then you got Tess Holiday out there. Like, I'm surprised she's not dead from COVID.
Seriously,
I'm surprised diabetes. Oh, but let's love her because she's beautiful. Fat is not beautiful. It's not.
It's not healthy.
It's not healthy. It's just not. And if that offends you, I don't care. Because I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. That's going to hopefully piss you off enough to save your own life. But you got your other people out there like, don't hurt their feelings. They might commit suicide. Don't say anything mean about veterans. They might commit suicide. Everything suicide. Don't tell a bad joke. They could commit suicide.
There's more suicides right now than
people could commit suicide. Don't say anything bad. People could hear it, commit suicide. We have to walk on eggshells now because there's a lot of people out there watching us on some of the podcasts. It's like with a gun in their head. It's like if John says one more bad thing, I'm gonna end it. I guess we just don't say anything truthful anymore because that offends people's feeble sensibilities.
Someone needs to hear it.
I'm telling you, I said this in 2015, and people still didn't want to listen. I mean, a lot of people did. I had a lot of my DMs blew up. To this day, my DMs blow up. Bro, your video saved my life. I've cut 200 pounds. I'll say it. Maybe that video has helped save some lives during the COVID pandemic.
Oh, I'm sure it has.
Because these people have actually taken it upon themselves to get healthy. And I'm not saying being some Jack Diesel dude or woman out there. I'm saying just eat right, exercise, take care of yourself. I mean, Josh has been going to the gym. He looks fucking phenomenal. I mean, his dick is almost
buddy.
having a 6-pack. I mean, it's amazing.
Feel better.
But you people out there, you get your feeling. That's where the whole fuck your feelings thing came from. It wasn't just, I don't care about your feelings. It's a matter of your feelings are getting in the way of you hearing the truth.
Yeah.
So fuck your feelings. Your feelings are going to get you killed.
Some people need that stuff.
Yeah, and there's different styles of motivation.
Kick in the ass.
Yeah, there's different styles of motivation. Some people need the pat him on the head, slap him on the butt. Some people need the drill sergeant approach.
Yeah.
But you can't sit there and tell me that video from 2015, which is still available on my YouTube page, was wrong. It was founded in facts and science. But whatever. But CNN pushing this. Joke. Meanwhile, you've got Krispy Kreme is now doubling down. It's 2 donuts. It's 2 donuts to show your vaccine.
In a shot of lard.
In a shot of lard, you fat fucks. Hey, why don't you care about my health? You're so inconsiderate. You should be ashamed and disgusted of yourself. Let's go to Krispy Kreme and get a baker's dozen apiece.
You tried to kill me. Put your mask on.
Put your mask on. Who do you think you are?
Get your vaccine. What the hell's wrong with you? You're going to kill us. This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Oh, they're still pushing this. Fucking, it's not Buttigieg, it's the nuclear guy, Swalwell. Eric Swalwell, Mr. fucking we're going to nuke people.
Chinese.
He's out there. He basically tweeted out, it's the unvaxxed that are causing this. The mutations from COVID do not come from vaccinated or from unvaccinated people. There's nothing for there. It's the vaxxed. And people don't realize this.
Yeah, anybody that hasn't watched that video with
come on.
that doctor.
We're going to get to this. We're going to get to the Rogan thing. But the funny thing about the Swalwell dipshit, he just got busted out in public without a mask.
What's this guy still doing in office? He was banging.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
What's that Chinese lady's name? Fang Fang?
Yeah, he was banging a Chinese spy. He's in bed with the communists.
How is he still in a government position?
Because Democrats don't care.
Don't care. I mean, if that doesn't tell you, like, there's
this guy was fucking a Chinese spy, like, bro,
like it's a cold civil war going on right now.
It really is.
I mean,
it
seriously,
really is.
It's like
here's the thing that worries me though about this whole communism thing. Watch for another McCarthyism to hit. Now it's going to be if you're accused of being a communist. Like again, like we've said many times on the show, the pendulum never swings center mass. It always goes one direction too far. So this whole communist thing that's being pushed. All the conspiracy theorists are coming out now. It's like, oh, it's the communist propaganda. It's the communist goal for everything. It's like, we have increased temperatures across. It's the communist agenda. It's like, okay, come on. Attribute things to communism that should be. But I feel like there is a serious issue here that people are ignoring because, again, it's political bias. They've buried their heads so far in the sands on both sides that we're ignoring truth for the sake of our hatred for the opposing political side. It's okay to call both sides out. You can, because truth is truth. It's usually somewhere in the middle.
I'm going to criticize anybody that I'm paying.
Absolutely.
Especially tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh, my God. We keep getting hit with more taxes. Oh, my God. Something hit me today. So for those that don't know, where the new thing's hitting with the IRS, and they're posting about it on Facebook, that on Venmo and apps like that, over a $600 transaction, I think if it's a business account or whatever, or set up to be business, you have to pay taxes on. You got to provide a 1099 for. So here's the thing: if I go out and buy a couch for $1,000, I pay taxes on that couch. I sell that couch to a buddy, and he Venmos me. I got to pay taxes on that sale. I have to pay taxes on the couch I already paid taxes on.
It's insane.
So you moron Democrats out there talking about livable wages and stuff like it's government spending and taxation. This is the issue. It's insane spending. We are being taxed out the ass here at Shell Shock. It's gone to the point of insanity.
I know. You'd think our roads were paved in platinum.
Our roads still look like shit out front.
They look like shit. Like there's nothing has changed. We have like the worst schools in the world.
They filled in some potholes and some makeshift asphalt.
I know. Like, just put some gravel in it.
Here's you get $20 of taxes. That's all you get.
That'll be $8 million. We had to change some light bulbs over here on the street lamps.
It's ridiculous.
That'll be $35 million.
Oh, my God.
It's like it's not nickel and diming anymore. It's dollar billing.
Oh, bro. They're killing
dollar
us.
billing us.
So Ted Cruz is taking that. Just a dumb thing to say. Oh, my God. Poll, Joe Biden's job approval crashes to 35%. Only 35% of respondents approve of President Joe Biden's job performance, according to the CIVIQS rolling job approval average. Biden also received a record high 56% disapproval from the poll, with 9% having no opinion. The poll showed Biden with a net approval of -20. This comes as Biden has been in office just less than a year and has dealt with a host of problems so far: a supply chain crisis, record high inflation, and botched Afghanistan withdrawal. I am still old enough to remember when we left Americans behind in Afghanistan and then gave the Taliban like $86 billion worth of military-grade equipment.
Yeah,
haven't forgot that.
That was like 3 weeks ago.
Bro, you can rally around this January 6th all you want to try and for the midterms, but come when it gets closer, you better believe these stories are going to get pushed back to the front. Like that's a serious thing.
There's so much stuff. Like you don't even have to go back to the front. You could just talk about current events that are going on right now because it's one shit show after the next.
It really is. Yeah, how anybody could support Biden after this or say he's doing a good job? I mean, you can't. You genuinely can't. This first day in office, he cuts 10,000 jobs from the Keystone Pipeline.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good job.
Like, gas prices are like $4.
It's nuts. It's nuts. But Biden has had the lowest job approval. And I love how they also talked about how they try and manipulate the information about how, like, we've had record high unemployment. Like, we've come down from unemployment. It's like because states are opening back up. But then now you've had over 4 million quit their jobs because of vaccine mandates. But they're not counting this. They're not counting any of this. They're manipulating the numbers is all they're doing here. And people are smart enough to know this. And then the White House I posted this like a few days ago. The White House had the audacity to tweet out about how they had record high purchases from retail stores for Christmas. Like record high. It's like, that's because of inflation.
Yeah.
More money was spent because we're charging more. Like,
charge you more
that's
to get
inflation
less,
101.
dummy.
What the hell are you talking about? Like Jen Psaki, Peppermint Patty goes up there and she's talking. Like, I don't know how she can go to bed with a clear. Well, I mean, she's a liberal. Go figure. Like they have no soul. So yeah, and she's
zero
a ginger.
soul. Yeah,
but she sits there and she's saying these things like, "Do you really believe the shit you're saying? Like, do you genuinely believe it?"
No, I think she's like a communist implant. That's.
These people,
no human being can get up there and just rattle off lies like she does.
The political divide has gotten so far that even people like Jen Psaki are doubling down on willfully knowing things are wrong for the sake of not wanting to support the opposing political side. That's all this is. And this is, I got to watch, I want to do a movie review for this one, but one movie, we'll just get into that real quick. I have 3 movie reviews, or 2. We'll start with Don't Look Up. If you have not seen Don't Look Up with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence, you need to see it. It is a very, very good movie. This movie basically makes fun of pop culture and social media in America, much less the world, and it is so on point that it's frightening. It is so on point that it's frightening. If you go and watch this, it basically talks about how and this is a spoiler alert, so if you haven't seen it, I'm just going to give you a very overview. Some scientists find a comet. It's hurtling towards Earth, and they have 6 months before it destroys the Earth. And they're trying to get this out to the public. And then political propaganda on both sides basically makes it so hard to get the truth out there. And it basically mirrors our current society. And I think it was regards to COVID and things such as that. And so they're saying, trust the experts, look up and see the comet. And there's like, oh, it's conspiracy theorists. They're lying to you. Don't look up. So they flip-flop on the aisle a couple times, what makes it really interesting. I like that. And it's pretty intelligent the way they handle this. So if you've not seen it, it's really funny. They do a very good, Leonardo gives a really good performance. So does Jennifer Lawrence. Go check it out. It's honestly so funny. They have a Steve Jobs, Facebook, Zuckerberg kind of. Have you ever seen that movie Ready Player One?
No.
So if you haven't seen Ready Player One, it talks about how they create the Oasis. It's a video game prodigy thing to where you can. It's like virtual reality, and the creator is the same guy who plays the Steve Jobs Zuckerberg guy in Don't Look Up. And he's very authentic with it. He's very socially awkward, but he's so smart. He talks like this all the time. So we have these statistics. Ha ha ha. It's funny. Ha ha. It's so weird because he mirrors Mark Zuckerberg's personality, who's just fucking weird as a reptile. So when you watch this, it's like this guy's in bed with the president, and it's really good. It is really, they did a very good job on it. So, and then the other movie is Spider-Man. Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm not going to give away spoilers. If you've not seen it, they did a very good job on this. I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan. Tom Holland did a very good job. The storyline is really good. It's got Doctor Strange or Benedict Cumberbatch. He plays Strange, not Doctor. Oh fuck, I can't.
That's it.
Is it Strangelove?
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. That's okay. Strange Love, Doctor Love. I don't know.
But you must be getting your porns mixed up in there with your.
No, because isn't there that one Doctor Strange Love with the nuclear one?
I don't know.
It's an old black and white. Well, I think was it a Mel Brooks movie? Oh my God, I forget what it is. The guy who played Patton is in it. What's the movie I'm thinking of? Oh my God. Anyway, it's a really good movie. You have to check them out. I was gonna do that movie review at the beginning of the show. I got sidetracked, but you can check that out. How to Love the Bomb. Thank you. Doctor Strange Love, How to Love. Thank you. That's the one I'm thinking of as well. So that's also another good movie. But it's kind of funny when you watch Don't Look Up. Like it's so on point. It talks about the political divide. It talks about just the conspiracy theorism that happens on both sides of the aisle. So you should definitely check it out. Mm-hmm. All right. So January 6th, it's January 6th. Hey, you do what you want. You want to go out there and celebrate. You want to hold a candlelight vigil, whatever. It's stupid. This is a dumb fucking day. The fact that they're going to politicize this to the level Kamala and the rest of them have doesn't surprise me. It's all political buzzwords. It's trying to get more people on their sides for votes. But while I was gone, there was a beef with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Congressman Dan Crenshaw. And this beef, I don't know like where she comes off. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene, I call her like a congressional Karen. Like this woman, like, look, I respect the fact that she has the guts to say what she does, but this woman is an idiot. I've said this before. She is the AOC of the right. The fact that she stands up and screams the loudest is commendable. I get that. I respect that. But what she says is ignorant. This woman believed in QAnon. This woman talked about Jewish space lasers causing the fires in California. And she deleted these Facebook posts and comments and tweets. But the internet has a way of remembering.
Did she really post that stuff?
Oh yeah, there was. It's all over the place. You can go look it up. It's nuts. So this is all before she was running for Congress. You know, I think this is like years ago. But she goes after Dan Crenshaw. Now Crenshaw, I disagree with as well. Crenshaw basically came out on Fox saying that we should be using FEMA to set up COVID testing sites. Yada yada yada. I don't agree with that. I don't think we should use that at all.
No.
Marjorie Taylor Greene goes after him, saying, you give us give our brand a bad name. Yada yada yada. And I'm sitting here, I'm just kind of like, okay, Crenshaw's wrong on this one, or I disagree with him. But I even posted on her page, it's like, you of all people don't get to tell anybody they're hurting the brand. Like, you've done more damage to the Republican name by your conspiracy theory peddling than anybody. Like, how dare you sit there on your horse and try and lash out at any... I wouldn't care if she went after AOC herself. Like, Marjorie needs to shut up. Like, the fact that you open your mouth about anything is ridiculous at this point. But her voters love it. And then, of course, she goes after Crenshaw. And Crenshaw uses a smart tactic. He said, oh, by the way, the FEMA thing, that was a Trump policy he wanted to implement, not a Biden one. So I guess you must be a Democrat or an idiot, is what he basically said to her. And then she responds by classic deflection, talking about how Crenshaw missed a certain vote on a certain topic. And Crenshaw's, that bill wasn't going to pass, and I wasn't there. He's like, I knew that. And then he basically hits back at her. It's like, oh, and this is you absent for this. It was bickering between two politicians. Like, oh my God. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, the fact that these two are going at it is like, oh my God. Marjorie, here's the thing. Like, I disagree with Crenshaw, and I disagree with both of you, actually. But Crenshaw is going to destroy you in an intellectual battle. You are very emotionally driven. You don't think. Crenshaw does, and he's strategic about his stuff. Like, come on, Marjorie, just shut up. Just shut up.
Shut up.
Just shut up.
Shut up, man.
I mean, both of them need to stop. It's ridiculous. But here's the thing. If you fire at Crenshaw, he's going to fire back. Crenshaw's at this point now to where he's not going to take shit laying down. He fires back now. Before he didn't. But Marjorie is kind of like, what are you... And then another big news story was Marjorie got banned from Twitter for apparently using COVID misinformation. She had posted something about the VAERS website and COVID, yada, yada. Twitter banned her. Here's the thing. I disagree with it.
Of course.
Twitter shouldn't have banned her.
No.
They shouldn't have. I don't like Marjorie, and I'm not going to lie. Like, when I saw that, I was kind of like, well, I mean, if there was somebody they were going to ban, it was going to be her. But it was still wrong. And this is like a sitting congressman they have now banned. They banned a sitting president.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot sit there and tell me anymore that this is not political manipulation. It 100% is.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't like Marjorie. I think she's a moron. But to censor her like that is also wrong.
You know, a lot of that stuff I really don't even care about. No. The only thing I want them to vote on is not passing the Biden Build Back Better.
Oh, it's done.
Disaster.
Manchin destroyed it again.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying like stuff like that. Yeah. You know, our deficit is so massive right now.
Yeah. And it's growing.
Yeah.
It's growing.
So we need to cut government spending. Yeah. So that's all I care about is cutting government spending and getting rid of some of these politicians.
It's disgusting, honestly. But, you know, just seeing these two beef on I'm not going to lie, there was a part of me that was, I was on vacation, you know. I was drunk half the time, and I'm sitting there laughing my ass off. This is where we're at. This is where we're at in America. We have our congressional candidates or our congressional representatives just having these internet feuds. Like, why can't you just walk to each other's office, film it, and have a screaming match? Like, do something like that. Make it worth. But instead, you see both people on both sides doubling down. And I got into it with one guy on Marjorie's post. He talked about, like, Crenshaw defended Kitzinger. I was like, no, he didn't. Crenshaw didn't defend Kitzinger. Crenshaw pointed out how Kitzinger's voting record was 99.9% in line with Trump's agenda when Trump was in office. He just voted to impeach Trump for the insurrection bullshit, which he was wrong on. But then people take that as if Crenshaw was defending Kitzinger. He wasn't. He was making a point, showing how a lot of Republicans are actors. They lie. They say one thing and vote a different way. Yeah. And he used Kitzinger as an example. And so Bongino goes on there and is like, and you mean to tell me, like true Bongino fascist, like, and you mean to tell me that, you know, he's saying that Kitzinger's some kind of bedrock Republican? It's like, Bongino, you're a smart dude. That's not what he was saying. Go watch the clip. We played the clip on the show. He was talking about paid Republican actors. That's all he was saying. He wasn't defending. He wasn't saying that Kitzinger was a diehard Republican, which, according to his voting record, he was. He just voted the wrong way on Trump. That's why all this shit is in the gray area. It's not in the black or the white. It's so gray. But when people make these statements, it's like, bro, your statement is founded in ignorance. It's not true. That's not what he said. That's not what he was doing. That's not the point he was trying to make. Mm-hmm. But people are so stupid, they don't want to see that. They just want to bury their heads even further in the freaking political dirt or sand. And their bias just takes more effect. It's like, this is why we're getting nowhere as a country. It's sad to see. But it's where we're at. This is Don't Look Up. This is Don't Look Up all over. So it is what it is. But that happened. And I remember just watching this play out. I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. This is the dumbest thing. But it is what it is. But those two went at it, and then Marjorie moved on to something else to be pissed off about. She fired off rounds at Crenshaw, which is a cool thing to go after Crenshaw because, you know, his stance is on red flag laws, which he's been wrong on. You know, even me commenting on that. People are like, oh, you're just all over Crenshaw's balls. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that sticking up for the truth when it's the truth is wrong. Instead, I should be implicitly biased and just attack Crenshaw no matter what. I've told Crenshaw on the show, too, I disagree with you on this. Mm-hmm. I don't agree with this. And people don't seem to understand that. It's like, oh, my God, you just love you some Crenshaw. It's like, I respect the guy's ability to have level-headed thinking in certain areas. I do. The guy's intelligent. There are certain areas, though, I disagree emphatically with him on. And we've had him on the show twice, and he's going to come back on here soon. We'll talk about other things that I probably won't agree with him on. But I'll still have him on here and have a good discussion with him. I'm going to try and get Tulsi Gabbard on here. See if she'd be up for coming. I think she will. So it's just like, I don't know, man. It's ridiculous to me. But that's where we stand now. But it brought out, we talked about how Biden basically said that, you know, COVID can no longer be fixed at the federal level. They can't do anything about it. Essentially, it's a states level now. Really? What are states going to do that federal couldn't? Like, what's...
It should have been like that in the first place.
Right? And that's why people that are like sucking Trump's dick. It's like Trump also stood by when these and I shouldn't say Texas did as well. When these states shut down hundreds of thousands of businesses. And now Trump's losing a lot of support. There's another topic. Oh no, Trump's pushing the vaccine hard. He's and then like
that was his thing.
It was.
But even when he came out, I'm like, I'm not getting a vaccine that they're just like.
Yeah. He had to do something, but the fact that he's still pushing. Now, Trump's stance, though, is that he is for medical freedom. He said the mandates are wrong. But he says, go out there and get the vaccine, folks. It's like, oh, bro, you shouldn't be saying that. Like, I would just stand on the principle of medical freedom.
The vaccine very well may be okay.
Possibly. We don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough information.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to take it because I feel confident in the 99.98% that I'm going to survive it if I get it. Yeah. Like I already did once. Yeah. So,
but Trump even saying this is just like, bro, stop at this one. Stop at the medical freedom.
Yeah.
Stop at that point. Like, don't go any further. Like, he could probably believe in the vaccine, whatever.
He said it couldn't be done. Yeah. He got it done.
Yeah.
Okay, move on.
And essentially, Biden, was passed the torch on this.
He was. He was set up for...
Oh, this... they had the sound bites from Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Buttigieg, all these people or Cuomo as well, both Cuomo saying that, when Trump was still in office, like, I'm not taking the vaccine because I don't trust the Trump administration.
Right.
The Trump administration handed Biden the ball. It was the same vaccine. And then suddenly these morons are now taking the vaccine and saying if you don't take the vaccine, you're a murderer. Like, you people, you are the most disgusting human beings on this planet. You flip-flop because of a political narrative. You don't believe in anything and you fall for everything.
Yeah.
At least stick to your guns on something. Christ almighty. You can't even do that. And this is where we're at. This is where we're at now. But anyway, Joe Rogan. Get to this part, and then we're going to end the show because I'm feeling like straight shit. Joe Rogan brings on this doctor. I haven't listened to the episode yet. I saw sound bits and clips. But apparently this doctor, he's got like 35 years experience. He's got the patents on a few vaccines. Mm-hmm. A very intelligent guy. Rogan brings this guy on for 3 hours. And essentially this guy is basically confirming what everybody has been thinking. Like, this is an expert. This is an expert. Okay? And then YouTube pulls the clip. And Rogan's kind of like, all right, I'm going over to Getter. The new app Getter, which I'm on Getter, by the way, the John Burke. You can follow me over there. We'll see if this platform takes off. I have no idea. I'm so sick and tired of trying to go to every new platform that pops up. It's annoying. But Rogan, on his first day of announcing this, pushes over 225,000 people to sign up. By day 3, over 1 million have signed up on Getter. If you look at the stats, Rogan's viewership and listening base destroys MSM, to include CNN and Fox. More people are listening to Rogan than any other news network in this country. Yep. And that's telling you something. Because essentially Rogan is the same as those MSM outlets. And I'm not talking about as far as like disinformation, misinformation. I'm talking about as a journalist. Mm-hmm. This guy just wants the truth. And he brings on people and asks them questions on both sides of the house. Yeah. And that's saying something when Joe Rogan has more sway than CNN.
He just comes across as an honest guy.
He does. But the point that I'm trying to make, though, is that this guy who's just trying to seek the truth is destroying MSM.
Yeah, that's it. It's
destroying them.
Just trying to find the truth.
And this is what Democrats are arguing right now. This is the thing that, that's what's so funny about it, is that a stand-up comedian, an MMA fighter, has more integrity than the supposed journalists at Fox or CNN. He just wants to get to the truth. And it's funny to me that that's the condition of America now. So in MSM, when people get so pissed off about don't trust the experts, you're the guilty party of MSM because you perpetuated so much propaganda with your negative and positive association biases on both sides. Nobody knows who to believe anymore. Mm-hmm. The experts are nothing but activists with diplomas. Nobody knows what to believe. Fauci has changed his mind so many different times. People don't know.
He contradicts himself in the same sentence.
So many different times. So nobody knows where to go get accurate information. So here's what they do. I'm just going to stop listening and do my own thing, as it should have been from the get-go.
He did that in the very beginning where he's like, nobody needs to wear masks. Masks aren't going to do anything.
It's nuts.
And then a few weeks later, he's like, oh, everybody needs to wear a mask.
It's nuts.
We were just trying to keep the masks from going out of stock.
It's crazy.
It's like, so you're a liar. Okay.
It's just, when we talk about like the experts, like we don't even know who the experts are. For case studies, like they talked about how Coca-Cola paid a group of scientists to do a study on the effects of obesity, what causes more obesity. And they said that obesity has more to do with not exercising than your diet. That's not true. Your diet has more to do with obesity than not exercising. It's actually a bit of both. But Coca-Cola funded this study and they used this study. These scientists were paid scientists. If you sincerely think that a scientist cannot be paid or bought off, politicians can too.
Oh, yeah.
It is not that hard. And I'm not saying that happens all the time, but you definitely can see it happening.
Oh, yeah.
So to sit there and say that can't be an excuse or a reason, yes, the hell it can.
Especially when there's money on the line.
Oh, bro.
Billions of dollars.
Money is the causation of all of this. What government has been in bed with Big Pharma. Johnson & Johnson is destroying the game right now. Mm-hmm. And now they're trying to come out with their own like antibody versions. Like, my God. It's like, my God. Why is that happening? But Biden administration's withholding the antibodies, the monoclonal, like he's being sued left and right. And then he just lost a lawsuit in Texas where he tried to mandate that the guard has to be vaccinated. He just lost that one.
Yeah. Like the
Ken Paxton's going after him hard.
Finally.
It's nuts. But this is where we're at. This is where we're at. Nobody knows who to believe. Nobody knows who to believe, and it's so funny to me.
I'll tell you what, I know who not to believe.
Any of them.
Any of them.
Any of them. Well, I'm so over it because we just don't know. Like
Joe Rogan, that's the guy I believe.
I don't even know if I believe Joe Rogan. I don't even.
That's my guy.
I don't believe anybody at this point. It's just one of those things of like just kind of figure it out for yourself at this point.
Common sense, I think, is probably the best solution there.
It's all about money. That's all these people care about.
It really is.
So all the socialists on the left and the big government cronies on the right and stuff like that, it's like, do you not see a common trend, a common reoccurrence here? The more that you depend on government to fix these issues, the more the issues get exacerbated and worsen.
And the more taxes they take.
Yeah, and the more taxes they,
Like, well, we're going to have to raise the taxes, obviously.
It's
so
gotten
we can
ridiculous.
do another government thing. I know our schools are terrible.
It's nuts.
These teacher unions are awful.
Oh, my God. Yeah. That's another story we'll probably cover on Monday's show. Excuse me. Like
crime out of control.
Look, dude.
We're not going to call it defunding the police. We're just going to call it reforming the police.
It's going
to be
bad.
defunding.
Yeah.
Don't get me.
It's gotten so bad, and all you can do is just sit there and laugh at it. It's like, I told you so.
I can imagine living in New York
what did
or
you
California.
think defunding the police was going to do? Like, what did you really think this was going to do? Less cops on the street equal more crime.
I know they're
are
redefining crimes.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my God, yeah.
What is it? It's like even armed robbery is getting down to a misdemeanor. I
forget who tweeted out, but somebody had a good point. It's like you can point again at somebody's head in New York, and it's a misdemeanor. It's like do something or fake a vaccine card. It's a felony. You go to jail for 2 years. It's like get the fuck out of here, man. This is how backwards our country is on. Yep. I don't know, but. Anyway, that does it for today's show, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for being so short. I'm still feeling like a complete hammered asshole. I'm going to go home and freaking take some monoclonal antibiotics. I'm going to up my vitamins and stuff like that. You know what you should take is some Shell Shock CBD. So for those that don't know, we are about to release the Delta 9 gummies. These are completely legal. Delta 9 is what's found in marijuana. This, don't ask me how. Our chemists have figured out some way of getting around the federal farm bill. These release very soon. It's Delta 9. We have Delta 8 and Delta 9. ShellShockCBD.com. You can check it out. The stuff is amazing. It works great. We love you. We appreciate you. Again, we also have the hemp tea. We've got bath salts. We got so many great products on the Shell Shock CBD website. We also have the winter gear. We have our sweatshirts that are live. We have the hoodies. We have the jackets. We have the shirts. We appreciate all your love and support. So again, make sure you go check out Shell Shock CBD, and you can tune in and listen to our episodes on Twitch. We have them on Spotify, iTunes, and SoundCloud. We appreciate all of your love and support, guys. Thank you for supporting the show. And then we'll be back Monday. Hopefully I'm feeling better. We'll be back hardcore, 100% ready to go. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful day. And as always, you stay savage, America. Anything to add?
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. We out.